All right, family. We black again. We black again for another, a fire presentation. This is the General Sara Seti, and it's the true fire with Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official General Sara Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts and hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies. We also have home decor for the family, 20% off at this time. 20% off at this time. Come on over, check us out, and get a big discount at the same time. That's right, family. I threw it in there for you. You understand? Link was in there for you. All right, it's also down in the video description. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. Over 900 video presentations on African history, heritage, nation building, African spirituality, mental warfare. We got all that. The Black Woman is God catalog, the Olmec Voyages of the Nile catalog, When Kemet Ruled the Earth catalog. You see, we got all these tremendous catalogs for the family to go over there to do extensive research in all those areas. So check it out. Check it out. And I guarantee you, you're going to say, damn, man, this is all powerful. That's right. And we keep it popping on Patreon, BPC, making noise we never come. Exclusive live streams, too hot to handle on YouTube, just so exquisite that I keep it for my family on Patreon. We got we got over 155 live streams. You understand what I'm saying? Exquisite titles. You see what I'm saying? And, and if you become an intermediate scribe on my Patreon, you get access to all the pay-per-view live streams during the month, plus live streams on Patreon. So, you know what I'm saying? Showing major love to the family out there. Check me out. Just check it out. That's all I don't have to, just check it out and tell me what you think. Patreon, General Seti, link is down there. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channel, General Seti, King Seti, Sara Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. You'll be up out of here. You'll be up out of here. All right, family. Today, because, I'm doing this preview now. I'm doing this preview for this upcoming Sunday. Did an ancient African scientist graph the other races? And that's a very, very serious question. And if they did, what did they graft them with? You see, what did they graft them with? And that's going to be a very serious, because as we see today, and I say this over and over, and I see, human animal hybrids. You see, human animal hybrids. Transanimal species, the new confusion. Really ain't the new confusion. It's just the newest of the confusions that want to be legitimized. The newest of the confusions that want to be legitimized. And so, the thing is that I wanted to bring up, because a lot of people, they think that it's something that, is mythological and shit. Wait a minute, hold on. There you go, right there. Nah, which I'm gonna bring up. Matter of fact, let me go on there. Where's my but I'll do this one right now. This is when when Russia was under the grip of Stalin. Okay, under the grip of Stalin. He used, because they had this sick ideology where they wanted to create a human ape hybrid. You understand what I'm saying? They was trying to breed an army. You understand what I'm saying? Of human ape hybrids. Let me see if I can get something up here. I like working in real time. Let me see if I can get. Okay. And when you start looking at these in these movies, you see it's deeper than what motherfuckers think. It's way deeper than what people think. Matter of fact, let me get this keynote up here. Let me get this keynote up here. Okay. Because they're going all out today, family. They're going all out. For a motherfucker to, you want to be a bovine. He wants to be a bovine. You see, he wants to be Elsie the cow. You see, these motherfuckers, I mean, this is real talk. These motherfuckers want to be Lucifer. They want to put all the lumps and bumps in their foreheads and shit, Yeah, he wants to be a fawn. He wants to be a little fawn. Yeah. You see, go through all the surgery. This motherfucker done turned his nose into a bovine nose. It looked like action, and you could tell the one to the left, he didn't fuck with his chin. He didn't fuck with his chin. You understand? Gave it yeah, this motherfucker's a bovine. You see? Look at this one. This motherfucker done tattooed his eye. That's a demon. Real talk. You motherfucker, listen. Let me tell you something. If a motherfucker jump out, I'm walking down the street, and a motherfucker jump out the alley looking like that, and I got that thing, you ain't gonna make it. You understand what I'm saying? Let me prophesize for you. You understand what I'm saying? Let me prophesize for you. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a prophet. I was a rebel. Now I'm a prophet. You see, let me prophesize. If you jump out the alley looking like that, and I got that thing, you ain't gonna make it. Yeah. Ain't gonna make it, family. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be on. Yeah, he's gone. They're gonna be calling in. Yeah. All you go hear in the back. Boo. Boo. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna make it. He's gone. He's gone, Chief. Oh shit. Look, let me talk to you. Because why am I bringing this out here today? Because when we say these things, when we talk about grandma, motherfucker, you know what? And it kills me. How motherfuckers, I have put up the video, and I just put it up really, because I'm a psychological, I like dealing with psychological, so I put the Yaku video up there. You know what I'm saying? Where the brother, when he had the animation, I uploaded it for, educational purposes. And I seen a Neanderthal had come into my comments, and he was he was saying, he was trying to get the Nation of Islam he was trying to give them some praise, and he said, you know what, and there's some good guys, and there's some good guys, and but that the Yakub story, that's where and he said anybody that puts up the Yakub story, you have to reconsider anything that they say. And I just really wanted to say, it must hit you in your heart that the Yakub story is realer than what most motherfuckers want to give credit. Okay? And I want to bring that up. Matter of fact, let me get right to this. Where we dealing with Stalin. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get. Is this the? Wait a minute. Where is that one at? Now, this is just this. Matter of fact, this is now. If you want to go in depth on Stalin, you see, if you want to go in depth on Stalin, which I'm just gonna give reference because it is facts. You see, you can go on YouTube. They got this one on there where you can look into it. You see, Joseph Stalin, the human ape army. You see, you understand what I'm saying? This shit was before Planet of the Apes. You see, this shit was before Planet of the Apes. This was before Planet of the Apes. So you can see they got on their, Russian regalia. You see, where they actually, matter of fact, look at this shit. Well, they was trying, to breed some type of a ape army. You see, now this is how they was gonna do it though. Let me show you how they gonna do it. Because this is actually the doctor, the Russian doctor. You understand what I'm saying? Right there to the right. That's the Russian doctor that I'm about to bring up. Oh, I ain't even put it in there. Well, I hate when I do that. Okay, so let me show you again. This is Joseph Stalin and the Human Ape Army. You see, and these are some where they wanted to graft, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about grafting. When you take two things and you try to fuse it into one, you see, grafting or deep is adding and depleting. You see, which way you want to go with it. You can go forward, you can go backwards. You see, you can graft in, you can graft out. You see, however you choose to do it, And so this doctor right here, Russian doctor, you understand what I'm saying? Let me get it. Let me get his blueprint. Let me get his resume of sickness. I believe his name is Ivanov. Okay, Ivanich Ivanov. Okay, he lived. He died in 1932. Was a Russian and Soviet biologist who specialized in the field of artificial insemination and introspective hibernation of animals. He is famous for his controversial attempts to create a human-ape hybrid by inseminating 3 female chimpanzees with human sperm. How sick. And so, again, I want people to understand this. See, what happens is because you should know better than that. You should know better than that. Wait a minute. Let me bring something else up. I need to bring this up. I'm going to bring this up. Let me see if I can get that verse. so that people can understand. They really do. Right. This is the one. Now, this is the one. It says right here, observe that after giving the parable of the soils, which is recorded in all three of the synoptic gospels, and before he explains its meaning, Jesus was asked by his disciples, why do you speak to the crowds in parables? You see? And so, and the precise reason why the apostles asked this question is not stated. However, it may have been the case that the disciples were afraid the people did not understand Jesus' teachings. Regardless of the rationale for the disciples' question, Christ's answer about his use of parables is both surprising and instructive. Jesus replied that he taught in parables for this reason, because it has been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. You see? And so the thing is, what a lot of people don't understand is that now we understand that Jesus is just a symbol. We understand that. But what needs to also be understood that he taught in parables. And which means that let's get the definition so you understand. A parable is a simple story to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. A simple story. The parable of the blind man and the elephant, like Aesop fables. You see, where you might even use animals to highlight, and so what it is, you can't get caught up in the motherfucking parable or the characters of the parable, because it's also say a tale, a fable. These are synonyms of a parable. Fable. You see, Aesop fable, where you teach through, stories that where the character might not necessarily be true, but the information, the moral that's being taught through the parable is true. And so that's where niggas is scared, because they look at Yakub and they say, oh man, the big head, nigga, the science is real. They using it now. What the fuck is y'all talking? Y'all don't see all that shit on where they talking about cloning and all of this shit. You can go get you a customized baby. You can dictate what eyes and shit, hair. You understand all of this shit. You see? So that's where niggas is scared, because the reality is more shocking than they really would like to admit. You see? And so when we look at the races, we have to say to ourselves, because when you look across the world, you got to say, well, damn, they want to teach that all peoples come from Africa, which is not true, which is not true, which is not true. It's not. You understand what I'm saying? That is a metaphorical lie. And I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get a connection to Africa. But if you came from Africa, you understand what I'm saying? You would be of the genetic characteristics that would allow you to come back into. You're not from Africa. Africa is not accepting your makeup, your genetic makeup, not accepting it. It's never historically been anyone that looked like a European, an Arab, an Asian, any of that. Indigenous to the continent. Now, this myth that all, the African migrated out into the other lands and somehow became something other than himself. You see? Other than himself. Now, a lot of people try to look and say, well, the skin, I can understand if he went up, motherfucker, the bones, the skull, the blood, everything changed. Now, I know it could get cold as fuck, but that shit gonna rearrange your skull. Gonna rearrange your skull? Nigga, I come from Michigan. God damn, I done been out in the motherfucking going to school in the winter, nigga. I thought I was in fucking Alaska. I look at my pictures and shit when I was going to school. I look like I still got the same head. I don't think my motherfucking head then mutated. You see? And so when I hear all these, and I listen to a lot of teachers, and I just, I've made my own based off of visuals. You understand what I'm saying? And I make my own. I'm my own scientist. I don't go into where I don't think that's beyond me. But I ask questions that are logical, and I don't let nobody talk me out of them. You see, they're just like when we talk about a tail, you got people being born with tails. Okay? And so if you go into an animal with a tail and you go into their DNA, okay? They say they didn't mapped out the genetic code. They didn't mapped out the genetic code. Every part of your body and your DNA, they know what part of the DNA code that represent your eye, your hair. You see, all of that, they didn't map that shit out. So they say. And I do believe they have mapped out some things. Because this is not a new science, it's an ancient science. So if you go into an animal that got a tail, I'm quite sure if you take and look at that DNA across the board of any other animals that got a tail, I would think that is pretty much similar. There's a code, there's a DNA code for tails. You see, you can go off into that, and obviously, you understand, it's some similarities in animals that got a tail. So when you got a human that got a tail, and then you go in there and you look, because the only way that it could happen, that is in the code. Anything that show up, it's in the code. Even if it's a defect, it's a code. Something, wherever that defect is, it's a code. You see, or is it a defect, or is it just the code? You want to say it's a defect to throw a misdirection, or is it just the code? Is it just the code? Now, if the DNA code for the tail is the same across the board for animals that got tails, say for instance, because they want to say how much species is the same. They'll say, oh, this species and this species is 90% the same. This species and this species, 90% the same. So the tail, we assume that the coding for the tail is one of those areas where it's the same. Right? And so when you get to that, you see, when you get to that, a human that got a tail, what's in there? You see? And then wait. Well, if she was born with it, then you have to ask yourself, how did it get there? You see what I'm saying? That don't mean it come from black people. You see what I'm saying? Something got off, something got off in the D. Some down the line. You see what I'm saying? It's been a lot of going back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't been no history in the ancient world where no motherfuckers have seen with no damn tails. Just real talk. Just real talk. Nah. When you see, and I've seen that. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to understand that what's been going on for the last 2,000 years too. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand but when you look, you have to look at what they call the dominant and the recessive. What populations have the highest, you see, rate of that shit? You see, where is that coming from? You see, and understandably, what's been going on for the last, you understand what I'm saying, to where shit happens. You see, but they know, just like they, what I'm saying, where they can zoom in on Africa and say, this is where the earliest fossils of anybody walking on this planet, this is where it was. So they can zoom in on where that trait came from. They're not stupid, okay? You understand? It ain't just up in the air. You understand what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers out there, every 5 babies is a tail. That means it's a dominant genetic trait in that area. So they know that, and if you know what I'm saying, and they measure that. So it ain't like they can't pinpoint where the likely origin of it is. You see what I'm saying? They know where the origin of it is. And so today, you understand what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying? With, mixtures here and there. Yes, it's a possibility where, one, could, possibly have a genetic defect from what has happened over 2,000 years. That's real talk. And that's why that story about, when you watch the one with Yaqub and Ishmael, which is, again, but it's fable, but where the Ishmael character, his job was to breed all of that shit out of the people. Yaqub was grafting a complete opposite of the black man so that he could be the oppressor. But the Ishmael was the one that came after him to breed it out. You see, to breed all that which had come, pollutants had come in to breed it out. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand that's what the eugenics thing is. You see, that's what, and so people have been used, and they've tried to use that where they establish a standard. For Hitler, his standard was blonde, blue-eyed, pale skin, certain height and shit. And anybody that didn't fall into that, you see, there was some laws that was enacted. You could not marry. If you had to have, during Hitler, you had to have your blood tested. They checked your lineage, you see, to see if you was a German, if you had Jewish, if you had black or anything other than that. You see what I'm saying? So that was what they was doing. So you understand what I'm saying? And so he had even taken where If you was blind blue, he was taking babies from their mamas and daddies. You see, all them countries that he had conquered, if they had children that were blind, he would take them. They look up the story, and so they had farms and shit where, and his SS guards, they was considered the pristine soldiers, and so they was the ones that would come to the farm and impregnate the women that they considered to be quote unquote Aryan. And so that's what they was doing. You see what I'm saying? And so all those that would, if you, in say for instance, you did have a tail, you was marked. That's considered, through eugenics. I'm not saying, and I'm not. That's what they would do. They was trying to get rid of anything. You understand what? That wasn't according Darwin too. Yeah, all of them. His cousin is the one that made it into eugenics, Dalton. That was Darwin's cousin. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what they were doing with blacks. They sterilized you so you can't reproduce. This, that, and the third. So you not only is you polluted, you're a burden on the economy. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is, when you see things like this, you know what I'm saying? Let me come down to and so the crazy thing about it, this guy, at first, he was trying to inseminate 3 chimpanzees with human sperm. Then he tried to reverse it. He tried to reverse it. They moved. Now he didn't do it. See, they wouldn't let him do the experiments in the Soviet Union. He was in French Guyana. See, they always want to go to Africa and shit. But where's it at? Wait a minute. There it is right there. Okay. In the 1920s, Ivanov carried out a series of experiments to create a human, non-human ape hybrid in French Guyana. The 3 female chimpanzees were inseminated with human sperm, but he failed to create a pregnancy. In 1929, after returning to the Soviet Union, he attempted to organize a set of experiments involving non-human ape sperm and human volunteers, but was delayed by the death of his last orangutan. Okay? Yeah. So these motherfuckers is so, to let you know. So the thing is, because I'm gonna end with this, because this just, we always hear, even with the Anunnaki, that they came here from the Nebaru to mine gold, and at first they used the Anunnaki, but then the Anunnaki rebelled against the elite because they said that the working conditions was unbearable. So what they did is they grafted a slave, a laborer, where they supposedly took Homo erectus and infused a gene into the Homo erectus and created man as a laborer. So when you look at all of these characteristics that are similar between certain animals and certain humanoids, because it's more than what you would like to believe. Is it because the Anunnaki is ancient African scientists who have taken certain DNA and whatever tests, you know what I'm saying, and humanoids and so on and so, and animals and mixed. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what you have coming out today in certain areas of the planet. You see what I'm saying? Because again, because when you say, you know, and I'm just gonna state this, they say this is what Cro-Magnon say. They saying that the genetic material between the ape and man, which I think they are speaking for themselves, is almost 99 point. It's I don't know if it's 99.1 or 97, but it's damn near. It ain't 100. So you understand what I'm saying? And so when you say that, and then I come back and I say, well, you got something look like Sasquatches and shit and this, that, and the third, and whatever, you see, then we say that, hey, that there's something there. See, they don't like when somebody say, because we don't have that. You see, we do not have that. So when you say somebody, you seen somebody that have a tail, that might be true, because through the thousands of years of motherfuckers is breeding and or raping and into the populace, then, you know, it could throw itself off. And that's why, again, they talked about Ishmael breeding out. You see, breeding out. And if you know, and it's a harsh thing, but that's what they did. Any type of defect that pop up, then, you know, people would be isolated. They would be isolated. Anytime it pop up, isolated. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, that's a harsh thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's all the programs that are run on that. That's basically what happens. And so to get a people that look totally different from the original population on the planet, you see what I'm saying? Require, you know, because you ain't just talking about no skin. You talking about them, they're a total being, and you seeing characteristics that's showing up that have never been a part of the original populace. You see what I'm saying? There's some experimentation that has been going on. And so we have to understand that there's nothing new under the sun, and that a lot of this has been going on far longer than what you want to believe. That's right. You see, it's been going on far or longer than what you want to believe. You see, let me run down a few more of these just so you can see. And do you understand that these peoples is trying to get recognized? They trying to get recognized, family. Look at this. Is it up there? Look at this. Look at this shit. This motherfucker done fucked his nose up, split his tongue. Look at this. And do you know these people want to be identified as the animal that they didn't change themselves into? Look at this. Trans species disorder or identity. Now, I done seen them with horns coming out their head for real. You see? Look at this. Now, I'll read just a little bit of this. We have already talked about new genres, a topic that is generating debate in the world. They are not yet fully accepted, minus the trans species, the transgender equivalent. But this time, it's the animalistic person trapped in a human's body. You see, Now, just like I said, usually when you got one deviant, you got it's a ton of them. You see? So this other motherfucker, he not only is he's a whatever he is, he's a transgender, he's all of that. They all of that, man. That's why we can, that's why we got to get our family together and quit letting these people adopt our children. God damn, you know what I'm saying? Some stories are known due to media interviews such that that of Tom Peters, who wants to be recognized as a dog. Okay, I don't know which one is that. He want to be recognized. Another is that of Eric Sprague, a admirer of lizards. That probably this motherfucker right here. To the point of tattooing scales and having tongue surgery. Or that might have been this motherfucker. Right there. Yeah, that's him. Dennis Avener wants to be a cat, undergoing expensive surgeries on his face. He wants to be a cat. Is that him? I don't know. I don't think that. Let's see. I guess he wants to be a jaguar. He wants to be a jaguar. Okay. Tommy Leopard tattooed his entire body, immolating the skin of a leopard. He lived on a remote island in Scotland until his death. There is no studies directly investigating the issue. This year, the WHO, World Health Organization, published a new edition of a guide called the International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems. The publication there was in the publication there was a novelty. The term transsexual was eliminated as a mental and behavioral disorder. So you already know that at one point in time, which is for me still is, and all the rest of them. But that just show you that they didn't backtrack on reality because they know that. Empathy and anthropomorphism. If a person behaves like a cat, a horse, a lizard, even a dragon, their ability to relate to the environment transcends reality. In fact, being like the last mentioned animal, the dragon, is actually being an other kind, the same as trans species, but with mythological creatures. So not only you want to be something mythological, okay, humanity's relationship with animals is ambiguous. From cave paintings to the present, there's a connection such as that of anthropomorphism, which is giving human qualities to things or species and empathy. As we explain in an article, in the cognitive ability to generate bonds through behavior. Is trans species born from there? It is not known for sure up to now, but it is influenced because the stories of those who identify themselves as non-human interpret that role from a humanized perspective, and whatever that fucking means. You see, so you see right there, these motherfuckers want to be animals officially. This motherfucker want to be a dog. He want to be a cat. He want to be why? This shit is far beyond any motherfucker that tried to wash this under the table. And see, we've never seen none of this shit like this in no Africa. Quit lying on Africa. Yeah, after the poison has come in, but they, I can see them trying to get that shit out and get hard on that shit too. Don't bring that shit to Africa. Leave that shit. And they cracking down on motherfuckers up in there too. Get your ass up out of here. They done started, and so I'm with them. I'm with them. 100%. You see what I'm saying? Your love or that Cro-Magnon Neanderthal is going to be your demise. It's going to be your demise, nigga. Because you are willing to wash away all And it's just to the sky, piled up of deviance. Would you let this motherfucker be the second grade teacher? Where y'all motherfucker won't draw? Just imagine you bring your baby to school, and this motherfucker the second grade teacher. Or they come, these two motherfuckers in a relationship and they want to adopt a child. That's what's happening. And the statistics is coming in as is what's happening. Everything that we say is happening. So you niggas out there that justify, make excuses, when them statistics, when they get ready to start pinning the tail on the donkey, they need to pin one on your ass too. You need to go down for being what they call it, an enabler. A lot of you niggas are enablers, deviant enablers. Deviant enablers. Deviant enablers. Yeah. And when they get ready to pin the tail on the donkey, and some of them really want that. Yeah. And some of them you ain't got to pin no tail on. They got one. You ain't got to pin one on me, buddy. I came with one. All right. All right. Okay. All right, family. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. It's real out here, family. All right, family. I'll be black a little later on. I ain't done today. I'll be black a little later on. This is the General Sara, Suten, Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.